Hey guys, it's Al with techmadeezy, and in this video I am going to be comparing the original one drawer to the new two drawer system. Now I'm going to be honest with you, there are some things that you're going to want to see in this video. And I don't know that they'll come out with a Gen 2 single box. I could be wrong. But there are definitely some nice things they did. Not just this lock you see here, but there's some other things I want to show you in this video. So why don't we go ahead and check this out. Now I'm going to start off with some basic information. I'll try and put the information on top so you can see model number and pricing and other things. So model number for the two drawer is going to be in the upper left hand corner. It's TB B1-D-72. Now this is not available in the States and there are no pricing at this time. Hopefully it will come soon once the tariffs kind of calm down. Now, as far as the single drawer, model number is TB B1-D30-1. Now, this is $119 at Lowe's, and sometimes a little bit more depending on where you're shopping. Now, as far as dividers are concerned, I'm going to show you them, but the two drawer comes with 2 long and 6 small for each drawer. And that's the same for the single drawer. You'll get 2 long and 6 small. It'll actually make up about 9 sections you can use, but then again, you don't need to use all of the small, and you don't need to use all of the long. Now, they do both have powder-coated steel corners, and they both have side handles, which really make these boxes really nice if you need to carry them and they're very heavy. Now, as far as total weight capacity, both boxes have a total weight capacity of 50 pounds. The box weight on the two drawer is 22.92 pounds. Single drawer, 16.4 pounds. Now, as far as latches, we're going to take a look at that. Maybe we'll start off with that. I know the single drawer box has latches that are visible, and I'm not sure about the new two drawer, so we'll take a look at that. Warranty on these, limited lifetime warranty, and they're both made in China. Let me give you some measurements. We'll start off with exterior. So the width on these boxes is the same. They're both 21 inches. The depth of the boxes themselves are both the same. They're 16 inches. And of course the height will be different. The two drawer is 15.6 inches in total height, and the single drawer is 8.8 inches in height. Let me go ahead and give you the drawer measurements. There are some changes, which is pretty interesting. So the drawer width for the two drawer is 15.4 inches in width, and the single drawer is 15.1. So I don't know how they squeezed a little bit more on the width out of the two drawer. Now the height, this is interesting also. The height, you're getting 5 inches in height on the two drawer in each of the drawers. And the single drawer is 4.5 inches. So you got another ½ inch of height in each of the drawers on the two drawer. Now the depth is pretty much the same. They say the two drawer is 13.1 inches and the single drawer is 13, but really I couldn't tell the difference when I looked at the measurements. So 13 inches in depth. Now the first thing I want to show you is something I mentioned a moment ago. One thing that I noticed they changed. So the single drawer actually has a latch on top. See this latch? And when you move this handle, that latch actually moves. So that's kind of nice. So, I mean, this drawer is probably not going to open until you pull this and open the latches. Now check this out. The new drawer just has a handle. It doesn't move. So the drawer can actually open. And you're going to want to see our full review on this drawer. I'll put a video image up in the left-hand corner, and I'll put a video link in the description because we did put tools in this. We were pretty impressed. But there are some things that if you don't close that lock, well, the drawers can possibly open. But if you open this up, you will not see, let me go on this side here, you will not see any kind of latch. Again, because this doesn't move. So it does have that actual button on the side, which is really nice to lock up the drawer, but very interesting. Now, you do have ball bearing steel slides, the same for both, first of all. So you do have that. Again, it does click in when you push it in, and this does too. But again, you do get ball bearing slides on both. Now on this one, I'm wondering, it looks like it's a little lower, maybe to handle the weight. Okay. I think this one is a little higher. Yeah, it is. It is a little higher. But again, you're getting a higher drawer here also, don't forget. So you are getting larger drawers in the 2 drawer. So it might be worth getting that. So a quick look at dividers here. You are getting 2 long, and then you're getting 6 of these small ones. Now, as you can see, that's a regular size divider. And one thing that's interesting about this drawer is it has a hump. I don't know why, but they have a hump that goes all the way back, and because it does, your divider is kind of angled slightly. They are black. Again, 2 long, 6 small. So it's really nice because you could take this out. You could take all of these out and use this space and just leave these up. It gives you a lot of flexibility. So let's look at the dividers here, and you'll notice you're getting yellow dividers, right? Or I think it's kind of a form of yellow-orange. But I want you to notice that you don't get any hump. And I'll take all the dividers out, by the way. But it is a deeper box. You could see that. 4.5 inches in height here. I believe it was 5 here. I'll put something on the screen if it's different. But pretty interesting. Again, no hump. We'll take all the dividers out, but you get 2 long, and you get 6 of the small ones, and you do get no hump. So let's take the dividers out. Now, another thing that's a little different for the dividers themselves, as I noticed, is the large dividers have these notches, as you can see here. We've got 3 notches, so when you lay them in these grooves, you know, you got 1, 2, 3, you know, and obviously they grab here, so that, you know, it's a good system. But they did create these little notches down here to hold the smaller ones, whereas in here you've got an indent for the divider, whereas this is actually raised up, so you actually get more box here again, because here you've got these raised up, and then you've got notches that go down. So you can see here, comparing the dividers, this is a little notch that notches in to that section there, and then these basically get held by these little notches here. So interesting when you really take a very good close look. Now let's also look at how the drawer comes out, right? Because that was also interesting. So when I pull this drawer out, I do get a full extended drawer, so I like that. Now when I pull this drawer out, I really get an extended drawer. There's nothing, you know, again, nothing really blocking this, which is nice. As you can see, it comes all the way out, right? But this one really comes out. And again, no hump. Here, you've got 2 grooves and a hump. So, oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this. In order to make this handle do this, they had to put a mechanism here that took some space away in the front of the box. That's not the issue here. So, really good. 1 and 2. I wanted to add this on. I already showed you the top drawer. You know, I kept showing you the top drawer, right? Where you could see that you get all this space, right? There's no humps in here. There's no bump over here like on previous boxes. So you do get a nice drawer. But the thing I didn't show you was the bottom drawer. And the bottom drawer has the lock mechanism. And some people might be thinking there's going to be a hump in the bottom drawer because it's got this locking mechanism. But it actually doesn't. Check this out. You get a nice full drawer on the bottom as well. So really, really nice to have. Now, another thing that was real interesting, if you watched the spec part of the video in the beginning, is this one box is 16.4 pounds with one drawer. This box with two drawers is 22.92 pounds. You're saving 10 pounds by getting this if you're actually going to need two drawers, because that would be 32 pounds and this is only 22.9. So weight difference, really, really nice. Let me show you some other stuff that's different. Now let's talk about how you lock your drawers. So today, the single box doesn't have a lock option. Nothing official from ToughBuilt. So if you wanted to leave your toolboxes on a site overnight and come back the next day, well, someone might get in the drawer, you know, that's possible. But this is a huge upgrade. Let's take a moment and look at that. So let's take a closer look at how this works. So I know you pull this down, you think you're done, but I want to tell you they have a 3-point locking system on this box. So there's one locking point there. There's one in the middle. And there's actually one down there. See that? 1, 2, and 3. When you close these drawers, all right, and I'm doing this with two hands, so bear with me. I want to make sure it gets closed all the way. When you pull this down, all 3 locking points go down to keep this. It is, I am telling you, I have tried so hard to get these open, and it just doesn't happen. And then you just take your lock, and you're done. Again, something that isn't in this single box. So you're getting, obviously, bigger drawers, and you're getting less weight. Really nice. A few other things I want to show you. So one thing I really like about StackTech is they've got beefy handles on both sides. We already talked about these steel corners on all the corners. We love those. But now you get beefy handles on both sides. Right? So you got to love that. Now, another thing that changed is the single drawer doesn't have anything in the back, right? But the double drawer, again, they added just wherever they could, they added another place that you can grab. You can grab from here, you can grab from the bottom. There's area here for your hands, there's area here for your hands, and there's area here. So I'll tell you, it's something. It's pretty amazing. Now, before we end this, if you want to see the full video with the tools and everything on this box, I'm going to put an image up right there on the left-hand side. And I'm going to put the word "to drawer" in the upper right-hand corner where my finger is. Now it's going to pop up pretty quick. Click on it. Watch our video. I'll also put a link in the video description. But here it goes, the word "to drawer." Go ahead and click on that. You'll jump right in and check out our video. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching our video. I sure hope you found it helpful. And if you did, give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and put our social media up on top if you want to follow us. And you'll be able to subscribe to our channel by clicking this round Tech Made Easy logo. Guys, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.